Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. It's wonderful that we're all together in this beautiful practice of silence. Today we're going to have Michael Gould lead us in meditation. Then we'll have a 20 minutes of silence, and after that we're going to open it up for sharing, and we'll end at 10:45. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Dan. Good morning, everyone. It's very appropriate that behind you, Dan, is a cushion, I think, on the wall which says love. And that's what I want to focus on today. Thank you all for coming. I'll start with a quote from the Course. Love is one. It has no separate parts nor degrees. It does not change with a place or a person or a situation. It is the heart of God and also of his Son. And another brief quote from Jesus. Love yourself with the love of Christ, for that is how your Father loves you. While I live, you cannot close the gate that I hold open for you, and I live forever. Dear Father, thank you for bringing us together this morning. Thank you for the love which surrounds us and indwells us. Thank you for creating us in love and of love. Thank you that through the Course in Miracles, we start to see that when we find ourselves upset, we are out of love. And this cannot be. May the Holy Spirit, already attending this meeting, speak to each one of us of love today. We are the one Son of God, created eternally in his image, whole and complete. Today, we join in love.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have about 15 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand, or you could use the reactions button at the bottom of your screen, and I'll take you off of mute. And if you'd like to ask Michael a question or a comment with confidentiality, put the message in the chat function at the bottom of your screen, and I'll read it out. Michael, please take yourself off of mute.
Oh.
Well done. Something in chat. Beautiful.
I've got a question. That was lovely. That was lovely, Michael. My name's Melanie.
Thank you.
Lovely to listen to you and talk about being held in love. And I was just contemplating, you know, the ego part of ourselves. And in the course, you know, no attention to the ego wants you dead. And as I was in contemplation, because I've had a lot of stuff coming up and I've been handing things over to Holy Spirit, you know, asking for all my triggers to be healed and doing loads and loads of inner work. And it occurred to me as I was, you know, with my ego self being held in love. So my ego self really just wants to be loved as well. And I know that that's different from what it says in the course. And it's something that I seem to have an inquiry, a very deep inquiry with about. And I know it says, oh, your ego can be very tricksy. And, you know, and I know, like, you know, obviously my ego's been going, wow, 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 you know, big time. And I've been handing all of these parts of myself over. But in my humanness and in my beingness, wondering what your thoughts are about, is it possible to have being held in love? Could the ego be held in love as well and be seen and heard and integrated into the beingness? It's just really a thought. It's just an inquiry that I'm with.
Thank you, Melanie. Just give me a moment.
Sure.
We do speak in terms of the ego and the self with a capital S. As we use the mind of God, we have a choice between employing the small self or the eternal self. The ego, I would say, always seeks for love outside. It looks for some other being, shall we say, to love it, because it hates itself. So the search for love is part of an illusion, in that because we were created as love and nothing else, it would make no sense at all for us to be seeking for love outside ourselves. And that is the constant problem we seem to have when we all relapse occasionally back into the ego, a separated self. And I think the point I need to make is that the love of God, which, as you know, in the Bible is described as passing human understanding, is my love is for myself. And unless I love myself, capital S, I'm incapable of loving something that appears to be outside me. So to come back to your question, I suppose I decided to focus on love alone today, in that, as you know, in the course it talks about when you go into a darkened room, you switch the light on and the darkness disappears. When you remember to love yourself, the darkness disappears. And I believe this is the key to happiness. It's the same as forgiveness, which is described as being the key to happiness in the Course. If you forgive yourself, you're forgiving everyone, you're forgiving the world. Very briefly, I once had a sort of a daydream. Well, it's the only time I've ever had a daydream. I was Judge Jeffreys, the infamous judge who was known as the hanging judge in the 17th century. And he was rather like the devil, as against Jesus was the good person I sought to model myself on. But Judge Jeffreys was this evil man with a huge heavy wig and a nose like a hawk, who either had everyone transported to Australia for their crimes, so-called crimes, or executed. And I found myself sitting up on a high bench in a courtroom in Taunton. And I was Judge Jeffreys. Now, judgment of others had always been my forte. And I said, bring up the prisoner. And I was looking down at the black cap. I thought, I'll have this one killed. And up came the prisoner, a rather miserable looking character, and I looked at him with hatred. And then I suddenly realized it was me.
Wow.
And it was such a shock. I can feel it now in my bones. And I said, this man is innocent. And I looked around the room, and as soon as I said that, I said, and so are you all. This is like love and forgiveness. It's very difficult, if at all possible, to separate them. Unless you love and forgive yourself, you cannot do it for others. I know I've gone off the point a little with your question, but does that help you, Melanie?
That was really beautiful, and what a powerful, thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you.
I have a comment in the chat. There was such a presence of love in the group. It was amazing. Please, can we know which parts of the Course the love quotes were from?
Ah, that's a good question. Let me remember. I think I'll have to check back. My memory isn't quite what it was. I know them so well. Can I email it into you, perhaps,
Sure.
And then to your website?
I've had a thought. Maybe you could let Sarah know, because she comes.
Oh yes.
Group.
Yes, of course I can.
Yeah.
Yes, may I do that? I used to have all these off like that, but it doesn't work that way anymore for me. If that's all right, I'll do that.
Good. Sure, that's fine. Okay, Catherine, please take yourself off.
It's a little bit related, actually, but firstly, thank you, Michael, for, you really brought us into stillness, I felt. And in stillness, there's love. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's a bit related, because I wanted to ask whether one of the things you said was, I hold a gate open for you, something like I hold the gate open for you that I will never shut.
Yes.
And I'm not aware of that being in A Course in Miracles, whereas in the Bible, there's the idea that I hold a door open for you. So I wondered if you're drawing on both, or it just feels like you're very present and letting the words come. So,
Those particular words are certainly in the Course. It's one of my favorite quotes. It's love yourself with the love of Christ, for that is how your Father loves you. While I live, I think I've got these words right. While I live, you cannot close the gate that I hold open for you, and I live forever. That's a direct Course in Miracles quotation. I can't give you the place in the course, but on the previous question, I know that Sarah will be bringing it along the whereabouts they are in the course. I don't remember those things very well. Does that help?
It does help, but I'm questioning my search facility in my Course in Miracles, because I had taken a quick look, and but I have noticed it hasn't found other things lately. So yeah, what was the first bit about love? The first
Of this particular, love yourself with the love of Christ.
Thank you. I'll look it up. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. I've got one of those great big books. I've got companion or something to the Course in Miracles, where if you look, the trouble is if you look up love, there's about 3,000 or 5,000 entries, but yes, it is there, I promise you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay, who else would like to say something? Raise your hand. I'd just like to say, Michael, I'm so grateful that you focused on love, because to me, that's what it's all about. It's the core of the course, and I could listen to that all day. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Angela, take yourself off mute.
Hello, Michael. Just wanted to say a big thank you for those beautiful words from the course. Always very welcome to be reminded about just how deep love is, and always with us, and that we are love. Great reminder. And it led me into a beautiful place in the meditation. So it was really very effective, the words into the meditation. So thank you very much. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to mention as well about the ego, loving the ego. It's that not being able to love the ego, but we can forgive the ego. And you said love and forgiveness, you can't separate them, can you? All we have to do is forgive the ego. And that in itself is being loving to ourselves, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you.
One of my, sorry, I'll just add, one of my favorite quotes from the course is, God does not forgive because he never condemned. It says it all.
There's a quote here that says, one of the readings was in the text, chapter 30, section 5. So that's...
oh, thank you. Chapter 30, section 5. Oh.
Was it chapter 10?
Okay, and there's more quotes. There's a beautiful, oh yeah, you got them. And thank you, Michael, for bringing love to us today.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, everyone.
Jim, take yourself off mute.
Take myself off
Thanks,
mute.
Dan. Thanks, Dan. No, I think Dan was speaking to me, Michael.
Oh,
he said take myself off mute. So thank you, Dan, and thank you, Michael. I just wanted to also say that was a really wonderful meditation, Michael. There was a real sense, a felt sense of being grounded in love. It went way beyond the words to what they really meant. And so thank you for that. It was very well. It was just beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
Good to see you again as well.
Good to see you too. Thanks for coming.
Can I just say?
Who's that?
That's Maggie.
Maggie,
yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, just briefly, yes, I just want to say, Michael, I'm so grateful. It was wonderful for me because I've been struggling over feeling God's love, really. It seems, and that whole meditation, I was able to, when my thoughts were coming in, just go back to that. And it was really, really helpful. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Maggie.
Linda, take yourself off mute.
Just say thank you, Michael. I loved the opening prayer. It centered me straight away, because I use those sort of words when I pray in the morning and last thing at night. It's just the sort of words and feelings and extending love to our Father, and so grateful for his love and our love. So that was a lovely opening, and the meditation was lifted me. I could feel myself rising up my shaft of light. It was beautiful. So thank you so much for that.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
And there's something in the chat here. It said a quote which you read, text section 11. Chapter 11, section 4, paragraph 6. But love yourself with the love of Christ, for so does your Father love you. You can refuse to enter, but you cannot bar the door that Christ holds open. Come unto me, who hold it open for you. For while I live, it cannot be shut, and I live forever. God is with my life and yours, and nothing is denied by God to his Son.
Thank you. Thank you.
Text chapter 11, section 6.
11, chapter 6. Okay.
Time for one more quote, a question, anyone? Okay, we'll close the room. Thank you all for being here today. It's wonderful to share this with you. And thank you, Michael. That was beautiful. Take yourself off mute, and if you're inspired, thank Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. That was wonderful.
Thank
you. Thank
Good to
you.
see everybody.
Thank you.
Love to everybody.
Yeah. Thank
Have a
you.
great week. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Oh,